Coming up on Mountain News this morning, today folks are honoring the years of service veterans give us to keep our country safe. And baseball fans headed to Cincy this past weekend to celebrate the life of Pete Rose.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. Thanks for joining us this morning. We are inching up to that 6 o'clock mark. Today is November 11th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Now, Megan, I know you said you almost forgot your umbrella. I definitely forgot my umbrella, but they shouldn't be like us.
They should not be like us. In fact, you might want to have it this morning, but by the time you're going into tomorrow, that won't be something that you're needed. So make sure you have it with you as you're heading out the door. But let's take a look at those current temperatures. Right now, we're really looking in the low 60s, with some places hanging into the upper 50s this morning. So you won't need a jacket this morning, but you might need a raincoat. We'll be looking at the satellite and radar as that rain is pushing through the area. It's looking to be mostly done for as you're heading more towards Moorhead and Louisa, maybe a sprinkle or two. But as you're going more towards the southeastern counties, that's where you're still seeing influence of the rain. But let's look at those high temperatures. Once that rain gets out of our area, we'll see those temperatures go up to the mid to upper 60s, with some places seeing the 70-degree mark being hit this morning. And as we look through the next 12 hours, you can see that temperature trend as it's slowly increasing around 1 to 3 p.m. That's when you'll see those high temperatures, and then it'll continue to taper off with mostly sunny skies once the rain finally goes away. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. Folks throughout the Commonwealth are honoring the nation's service members for this year's Veterans Day. Later today, during a celebration of patriotism, Governor Andy Beshear will honor the lives of 16 black veterans who served in the Civil War and in World War I. The veterans were buried in unmarked graves and will be recognized for the first time today at 3 p.m. at the St. Louis Cemetery in Louisville. Communities in Kentucky chose to have some Veterans Day celebrations early during the weekend. At the Cave Hill Cemetery in Louisville, volunteers placed flags at the gravestones of more than 6,000 veterans Saturday morning. The effort was organized by the nonprofit Flags for Vets. Founder Frederick Moore is a veteran himself and started the tradition more than 1 decade ago.
I heard that they didn't flag these graves for Veterans Day, and I thought that's something I can do.
The group placed flags at the gravestones of unknown soldiers to honor them as well. Volunteers said it was a moving experience and the least they could do. People in Western Kentucky also celebrated Veterans Day early this weekend. This year marked the second annual Horses for Heroes event in Henderson County. Organizers welcomed participants with free food, hay rides, games, and resources for first responders and their families. Tony Russell says he helped come up with the idea last year. He says he thought creating an event with horses for those who struggle, especially veterans with PTSD, could make a big difference.
It just helps them with their peace of mind and stuff, especially if anybody's got any anxiety or any PTSD or any of that kind of stuff, which is pretty common sometimes actually in those professions and with veterans as well. And everybody that's been here just loves it. They love the farm and the horses, and that really makes me happy that we're helping people.
People could also groom horses as a way to promote healing support in a farm environment. Pineville Mayor Scott Maiden is the 29th Senate District Senator-elect. Maiden was elected after a historic write-in race following the untimely death of Senator Johnny Turner, who held the seat since 2021. Maiden became the mayor of Pineville for the second time nearly 10 years ago with a revitalization project on his mind. Now that project is in full swing and Maiden is moving up to Frankfort.
I've got more knowledge of the project than anybody because I've worked on it for 8 years, and I'm certainly going to see that project through, whether you know that I'm the mayor or the state senator. I think I can be a tremendous amount of help to them.
We will hear more from Pineville Mayor turned Senator-elect Scott Maiden at 7 this evening on Issues and Answers right here on WYMT with Steve Hensley. Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman called on the federal government to protect drivers from foreign interference. Coleman called on those in Washington to crack down on connected vehicles built in China. Concerns have been expressed about China's ability to exploit networks as well as other adversaries. In a letter to the Office of Information and Communications Technology Services, data showed vehicles from other countries could be gathered abroad. Here is what Kentucky's Attorney General said in a statement, quote, "We can't risk the safety of Kentucky families for the future of our auto industry by allowing adversaries like China to place their potential high-tech spy equipment in our garages. We're calling on the federal government to take bold action to protect our data and our infrastructure from those who wish us harm." The vote for an ordinance targeting panhandling is set for today in Somerset. It would ban pedestrians from approaching vehicles. People could also get fined for crossing Somerset's busiest roads outside of crosswalks. Police say they've gotten complaints about people knocking on the windows of cars in the roadway. Breaking the rules could lead to fines of up to $1,000. Tonight's City Council meeting starts at 6. The University of Kentucky's campus police department is implementing new safety measures following a shooting near North Campus this month. To enhance security, additional officers will patrol North Campus from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. with increased foot, bike, and car patrols. Temporary lighting will be added to Winslow Street, and security at the Cornerstone and Good Samaritan parking garages will be tightened, limiting access to permit holders and event attendees.
This is not going to be tolerated around our campus or on our campus. So we're taking a very aggressive approach to make sure that we keep our campus safe.
The changes took effect this past weekend. UKPD urges students and families to report any suspicious activity. The Lexington Fayette NAACP says they have received reports of racist text being sent to people in the state. The messages are similar to those that are being seen pop up throughout the country in recent days. Many reference being picked to be a slave. Police with the University of Kentucky say they were notified of the messages popping up on college campuses, specifically other colleges in the Southeastern Conference.
We anticipated that it was probably coming. Shortly after we put out that bulletin to our staff, we started getting a report in. So we have had some of our students have received that message, and we are cooperating with the other schools in the SEC as we investigate this.
The FBI Louisville Department says they are aware of the messages too, and they are in contact with the Justice Department and other federal authorities on the matter.
A little bit of rainy weather as you're heading into your Monday morning, but it will be clearing up as you're heading into the afternoon. Let's take a look at that satellite and radar as it's pushing out of our area, and we'll be mostly clear in just a couple of hours as we're heading into that lunchtime hour and beyond. Let's take a look at those high temperatures. For today, though, we're mostly looking in the mid to upper 60s. However, as you're traveling more towards the south, you could see the 70s, 71 for Jonesville, Harlan, Middlesboro, and Jacksboro. Some places a little bit cooler today. Moorhead and Wise, 64 degrees will be your forecast high this Monday. And as we're going through the next couple of hours, well, as soon as that rain clears up, might be a good time to head out for a hike. Those temperatures aren't looking too bad today, mostly in the mid 60s with the sun peeking through around lunchtime. Sunrise will be at 7:09 if you want to get an early start to your day, and sunset will be at 5:25 p.m. I'll have that ARH 7-day forecast in a couple of minutes. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. A memorial was hosted for Pete Rose Sunday at Great American Ballpark. Fans were able to say goodbye to the hit king. From 7 in the morning until 9, fans were able to go inside the stadium. People of all ages stood in the rain to say goodbye. For some families, this was an opportunity to pass their love of the Cincinnati legend to the next generation. Videos of Rose's life played in the stadium, and fans were able to talk with his family. Rose's impact on baseball will never be forgotten, but many people say they hope he's also remembered for his love of his fans.
Just when you would meet him outside of the ballpark, or as he would sign autographs at various locations, he would always try to engage you and would tell a baseball story at the drop of a hat.
Pete Rose died September 30th at the age of 83. The Bath County Sheriff's Office is mourning the death of its chief deputy. Supporting Heroes says Burl Wes Everman died Saturday from an apparent heart attack. The nonprofit says Everman was found unresponsive in his home just a few hours after responding to multiple calls and, quote, engaging in physically stressful and strenuous line of duty activities. He died at the hospital. Everman was a 40-year law enforcement veteran. He worked for the Owensville Police Department before joining the Bath County Sheriff's Office. Thanks for getting your day started with us this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, the president-elect's administration is taking shape with new appointments and snubs for who will be close by.